You know, I've seen quite a few sad movies in my life and a lot have made me cry, but none have truly hurt me like this one. Like, there was no point in crying. It gave me deep internal pain. After watching this movie, I felt what it was like to quietly suffer and to grieve someone and to miss someone and know that whatever you do, no matter how hard you scream or cry, there is no turning back. That person cannot come back, and the piece of media that I am talking about that absolutely shattered me is this movie scarred me for real. I remember a long time ago I saw an edit of this movie on YouTube Shorts, like the classroom scene, and for some reason I thought it was gonna be about this bullied kid and the girl is the bully, and then through some kind of plot, adventure and shenanigans they will develop understanding and become friends. And recently again I saw a video of this movie and all the people in the comment section were like, oh my god, this movie is so sad, oh my god, this movie left a dent on me. And I thought, man, is this movie really that sad? So I decided to finally watch it. Also, another thing I want to say is I know some people will say I copied this video idea from Derek FDB because he recently made a video about saddest movies he's watched, and Birish Utera Vidya is one of those movies. But what actually happened was I recently watched this movie while working on my last video and I was like, fine, I could make a video on this movie. And days later I see Derek FDB uploaded a video on sad movies and Birish Utera Vidya is one of them. So I'm not copying it, I'm just giving my own opinion and experience from this movie. So yes, when I finally watched this movie, in the end I was crying, man. Like, I was watching it with my sister and I low-key wanted to cry, but I also controlled myself as I also did not want to cry in front of my sister. Also, obviously spoilers for this movie. So the movie starts off with this boy named Jess, and Jess is a farm boy. He lives on a farm and is pretty broke. Like, obviously not Jess, we are not blaming Jess, but his parents, they could not even buy poor Jess a new pair of sneakers, so he wears his sister's sneakers. Yep, hand-me-downs. I feel the pain, man. So he uses a black marker to cover the pink on his sister's sneakers so he doesn't get bullied for them, and Jess is off to school. And he gets on the bus and of course he is bullied. This girl just throws her lunch on Jess, ruining his shirt. Personally, I would not let that slide. Whenever food gets on my clothes, it just pisses me off so much. I would have beaten this girl up if I was in Jess's place. These hands are rated E for everyone. And so in the bus he was getting bullied by a senior girl, and in his class he is getting bullied by two guys. Oh my god, bro, stand up for yourself, beat him up. And of course the bully is the one who is talking, but the teacher blames Jess. He thinks Jess is the one talking, and bro, are we for real? But she does also scold the bullies. But why my boy Jess? He did not do anything, man. And of course the bullies notice his sneakers which had the black marker rubbed off because of this water thing in his father's greenhouse. So then class is interrupted by the principal, who brings in a new student, Leslie Burke. And the teacher tells her, well, since we have no seat, you are gonna have to sit at my desk for the day. And while doing so, Leslie accidentally drops her bag and she gets laughed at a little, showing us that, you know, Leslie is not gonna be the new popular girl that everyone likes and will be friends with, but she is a little awkward like our boy Jess. And during recess, Leslie has to go use the bathroom, and the senior bully girl, Janice Avery, is standing at the door of the bathroom and only letting people in if they give her $1. Okay, why are the teachers not paying attention to this activity? Like, come on, you are gonna scold my boy Jess for no reason, but you're gonna ignore stuff like this? Where is the principal? Where is the teacher who was scolding my boy just for no reason? This is some nonsense, man. So now it's a race, like a running race. So the race starts and one of the bullies pushes my boy Jess, but Jess is not having it. In his mind, he is already the winner and it seems like he is gonna win. And he is all giggling while running cause he knows he's about to take the dub, but out of nowhere, Leslie appears and she's even faster than Jess. Jess, you know, tries, but he's left behind and Leslie wins the race. So naturally Jess is a little bummed out about this and Leslie tries to talk to him and tries to shake his hand, but Jess just ignores her and leaves. So after school, Jess is going home and steps out of the bus and Leslie steps out at the same stop, and my boy Jess is like,
you following me?
and Leslie responds, no, I live here too. So apparently they are neighbors. Also turns out Jess likes to draw too, and it seems that his little sister drew something in his sketchbook and he's mad at her, so she calls their dad. And here you can see how Jess is treated differently compared to his sisters. His father asks him about the race and his sister tells him that this new girl next door won and beat all the boys, even Jess. His dad does not say much and just tells Jess to take out the trash. We get a few more scenes of Jess and Leslie like becoming better friends, as in the bus Leslie hands him a pack of gum and Leslie compliments Jess's drawings. She says that he is better than any kid she's ever seen at drawing.
Wow. You're really good at drawing. Like, better than any kid I've ever seen.
We also see in some scenes where Leslie has written a poem and as she says the words, Jess is really invested in them, and we can see like underwater ocean view in Jess's eyes and bubbles coming out of Leslie's mouth as she talks about the bubbles underwater. And we see a lot how Jess and Leslie use their imagination as an escape from their difficult lives at school and home. So later Leslie and Jess go to this like forest area behind their houses, and at this point they've become good friends and they come across this rope hanging from a tree over this creek and they use it as a swing, and then Leslie says, we need a place just for us. class plays better than just not being at school. And she says, what if there was a magical kingdom that only we knew about? What if the only way we could enter it was by swinging on this enchanted rope? And Jess laughs like, enchanted rope? And she says, yeah, and swings on the enchanted rope from one side to the other and just goes after her. So they explore the other side and they hear some sounds and Jess panics like, I've heard these sounds before. And Leslie is like, that's the sound of prisoners rattling their chains. And as they go along, Leslie makes something out of everything. They find like an old tree house and some dragonflies flying around, and Leslie is like, oh my god, warriors. Like she builds this imaginative fantasy out of everything they encounter on the other side of the creek. The other side of the creek is a place of their own, a place better than just not being at school, a place where they can be free and they can do anything they want, a place Leslie calls Terabithia. We see a shot of Jess at home staring in the moonlight, and there is like a hopeful look on his face, and we get a montage of Jess and Leslie coming back from school and just running off to Terabithia. We see both of them building things for the treehouse and making it cleaner. Both Jess and Leslie are genuinely happy, and the treehouse is like a castle in their kingdom. Terabithia is like a magical kingdom where Jess and Leslie are king and queen, and they have their own army and an evil warlord, the Dark Master, that they have to fight against. And we can see Jess enjoying school now as well, because he finally has a friend now. But as they are heading home in the bus, Janice Avery trips and is like,
Jess Aarons tripped me.
oh my god, bro! And of course the bus driver tells Jess to walk home. Wait, what? Bro, are we for real? Leslie tries to stand up for him, but the driver's like, go! So Jess walks home, and when he gets there, Leslie is sitting there covered in ketchup, which was of course done by Janice Avery. Bro, does the bus driver not care about this? Like, you did not see Jess trip Janice Avery, but still believed her. And then you are too busy or asleep to notice that the same girl is throwing ketchup at another girl, and you are not gonna say anything. Like, you for real? Do not even notice this. Janice Avery is paying this guy or something, man. Okay, so then Jess and Leslie head back to Terabithia, and there they climb this tree, and Leslie says, look, this entire kingdom is ours, from the mountains to the river. And Jess is like, nah, I don't see it. And so Leslie tells him, close your eyes but keep your mind wide open, and Jess sees it too. And in this scene they name this place Terabithia. Not gonna lie, the view before Jess and Leslie's imagination was not that bad either. But what do I know? In the meanwhile, some animals stole some food from their greenhouse, so his father sets up traps, and Jess asks his father, what are you gonna do with the animal if you catch it? And his father tells him that it's on side between him and this animal. Naturally, Jess is not too glad about killing this animal, because he is a soft and kind-hearted kid. Okay, back to Terabithia. Jess and Leslie are in their castle when suddenly a tree falls on their castle, but they are safe, because the tree is a little far away and just tears the curtain of their castle. And Leslie says, oh my god, it's a giant troll. Okay, whatever, I guess so. Jess, who is a little smart, says, no, it's a giant tree that almost killed us. But Leslie says, nah, it is the Dark Master. He sent his trolls when he saw that we defeated his cougars. Jess is a little smart, because I am not gonna make up a fantasy out of my almost death. Leslie, you are cool, but shut up. Next morning, the animal that has been eating up their vegetables gets caught in the cage trap, and Jess finds it, so he lets it go. But his father finds out, and obviously he is mad, and he tells him that this is not one of your cartoons. This is just a pest that eats up our crops. Get your head out of the clouds and do as I say. Okay, now I understand his father's anger, but still I feel bad for Jess. I mean, come on. He already goes through so much, just let it go. And naturally this affects Jess a lot, and we get scenes of Jess genuinely sad and not being able to enjoy anything. On top of that, we see how his father treats his sister compared to him, hugging and kissing his little sister to bed, and to Jess he just says,
Lights out, Jess.
he slowly says to himself, night dad. It shows that he does not hate his dad and wants his dad to treat him with love as well. Treat him like he treats his sisters. He wants his father's love, which only makes this harsh behavior of his father even more difficult for him. He lives in a financially struggling family. His older sisters are mean to him. His mom does not pay that much attention to him. His father is hard on him, while his little sisters are treated gently and with love. He has to bear the harsh side of his father. He is bullied in school. He has no friends, and while watching this movie, I put myself in Jesse's place and just imagining it, not living it, just imagining it. It genuinely felt depressing. It said how Jess has to live every day like this, then Leslie coming along and Terabithia. It's like light in the dark. No, light in a deep dark pit for Jess, which makes the ending of this movie even more depressing. I don't even want to say depressing. The true word is just sad. The ending is sad. It's painful. But then things do start to get better for Jess. Terabithia and Leslie help Jess a lot. Jess starts feeling more confident and more happy. He even goes out to help his teacher with her stuff, which he previously was hesitant to do. He's not scared of the bullies that much anymore. His nice teacher also takes a look at his art and asks Jess, have you taken art classes? And Jess responds, nah, that's just my natural talent. And Jess is genuinely happy. Regardless of the struggles of his life, Terabithia and Leslie are a sign of happiness and hope for Jess. And he holds on to Terabithia and Leslie because no matter how difficult it is, he has something to look forward to. Like all of these positive things happening for Jess, we see him genuinely happy and getting more confident. I mean, life is good, you know what I mean? But a small problem appears. Jess's father gave him his keys to get tools from the greenhouse, and Jess forgot the keys in the greenhouse, and his father is mad at him for that. He tries to look for them but does not find the keys, and that keychain had the keys to Jess's father's shop and keys to the register as well. If they don't find the keys, they will have to replace all the locks, which is $700 out of Jess's father's wallet. And on the way to school, Jess finds out his little sister had the keys, and she gave them to Leslie, and Leslie used them as bells in Terabithia. Really? Keys? Keys do not sound like bells, bro. So they have to go back to Terabithia and get them, and they have a big imaginative fight in Terabithia. And after getting the keys while returning, it's raining, and we see that the water level of the creek has risen up. I wonder why that is shown to us. Then Leslie and Jess have this sweet bye-bye moment looking at each other, and you can tell how great friends they have become and how much both mean to each other. Then Jess nonchalantly returns his father's keys back to him. The next day, his teacher calls him, the nice teacher, and asks him if he wants to go to the city to this museum. And she was taking her nephews, but they cancelled, so she thought she could take him, and just asks his mom if he can go. And his mom is like, After this response, he should not have went with the teacher, because that is the type of response from your parents that you think is yeah, but really later your parents will be like, no, we did not want to give you permission, what are you talking about? Or like say, yeah, we did not want to give you permission, but you were asking so much, and I mean I did not want to let you go, but you were stuck on it, something like this. So obviously this response was a red flag, but Jess goes anyway. And while leaving, he looks at Leslie's house, and his teacher asks if he's forgetting something, but he says he is good. So then they head to the city and walk around the museum, and it's pretty chill. Jess's teacher lays some wisdom on Jess, and it resonates with him a lot.
Mind like yours wide open, you could create a whole new world.
And then when Jess is finally back home after a great day, his parents are scared but also relieved that he is okay. And his sister says, they thought you were dead. And Jess is like, wait, what? Why? And at this point, I was a little confused too. Jess says to his parents, I told you I was going with my teacher. And I was like, yeah, he did. It is not his fault, you are a bad parent. But why did you all thought he was dead? And then the movie hits us with this absolute banger of a scene.
Your friend Leslie is dead. She drowned in a creek this morning. Apparently she tried to swing across on a rope and it broke. They think she hit her head.
Man, the way they did this scene, it's so unexpected, and it hits the audience the same way it hits Jess. Because the last time Jess sees Leslie is the last time we, the audience, see Leslie. We see her fine, we see her okay, and so does Jess. And in a way, we experience it like how Jess does.
No, it's not that kind of rope. It couldn't break. It wouldn't have.
The next day after the last time they see each other, when Jess wakes up, he goes with his teacher to the city to visit this museum, and for Jess it is a great experience, and he is happy, he feels understood and heard, and we the audience feel happy seeing that Jess is finally understood and seeing Jess happy after seeing him go through so much pain and difficulties. And then when Jess heads his home, his parents' behavior confuses us as much as it confuses Jess, and then us, the audience, and Jess are suddenly hit with the news that Leslie is dead, and it is hard to accept for us, the audience, as it is hard to accept for Jess. And we don't get a scene like Jess enjoying the museum, and meanwhile Leslie like going to Terabithia and getting into this accident. They could have done a scene where we see Leslie trying to cross the creek, but we see the rope break and it is unclear what happened, and later it is revealed that Leslie is actually dead. I feel like this was the best way to do the scene, because the way it is done, it hits the audience unexpectedly the same way it hits Jess so unexpectedly. And seeing Jess going through all of this is just even more painful and sad to watch.
Realize that if it's hard for me, how much harder it must be for you.
Because it is like no matter how hard you scream or no matter how hard you cry, it cannot be undone. Leslie is dead. She cannot be brought back. It is like Jess's entire world was just stolen from him in a few seconds, and things finally start becoming better after such a long time, and suddenly in just a moment it is all taken away from you again. It is like this unbearable pain in your mind. It is hard to accept. It's like you finally have light in a pitch black pit and you get used to it and everything feels better with that light around, but suddenly it is taken away. The light just dies. It goes away and you don't know why, you do not know how, but it is gone. In the end we see Jess going to the creek and they're seeing a fallen tree and using it to build a clean new bridge to Terabithia, so now they can cross the creek safely. And he honors Leslie by putting a drawing of her in a small boat and letting it go in the creek. In the end, Jess takes his little sister to Terabithia, continuing the imagination and fantasy that Jess and Leslie built together. Leslie's death will still hurt, but continuing Terabithia and not abandoning it is honoring Leslie, and it is what Leslie would have wanted. I also like how the poster of this movie is. From the poster you would think that this is a fantasy movie, but it is not, and the way it uses those fantasy elements to showcase the imagination of children and then completely avoiding them when Jess and Leslie are outside of Terabithia is genius. As a kid, the fantasy scenes are appealing, and as an adult you can appreciate it more because the use of fantasy elements in Terabithia speaks a more deeper story that an adult can appreciate even more. And there are so many heavy themes discussed in this movie: parenthood, child abuse, child neglect, childhood imagination, bullying, friendship, death, and it does not fully solve those issues in the characters' lives, and honestly that is some of the most realistic stuff. And just honoring Leslie is, for me, is like an answer to the struggles. It is not the best or perfect solution, but instead of living in the pain of Leslie's death, Jess does something that he knows Leslie would have liked, and something that will make him happy because he knows Leslie would have wanted this, and something that will remind him of Leslie keeping her legacy alive. To be honest guys, I don't know what to say. This movie made me really sad. But it's okay because we got more happy and hype videos coming. Also, I'm trying to hit 1,000 subs before the end of this month. So subscribe guys. Okay, bye bros.